pray. Almighty God, we bow down before Thee in humble obedience and dependence. We pray Thee, grant us the grace to respect each other this day in all our consultations, that our deliberations today shall take place in the spirit of mutual trust, so that we as leaders shall lead our country on the path of peace and shall find solutions for issues and problems facing us. Grant us the mercy, O Lord, that we shall today also honor Thy name in all we think, do, and say. Almighty God, we pray Thee, bless our land and all its people. This all we pray in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Affirmation. I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of Namibia and its people, and I solemnly promise to uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Namibia to the best of my ability. Any messages from the head of state? Any petitions? Reports of standing or select committees? Yes, Honorable Mouton. Oh, Secretariat, can you please? Okay, so for now, can you please indicate, are we now able to conduct the proceedings, members? So it means the Hansard cannot record, or can it? Can we proceed? Only the 4. Okay, so please just rise, put up your hand if you, yes, Honorable Mouton, you have the floor. Yes, no, they are taking care of that. But if there are now members that want to ask for the floor, just please put up your hand until that has been addressed. Yes, thank you. Other reports and papers? Notices of questions? Yes, written questions first. Okay, reports. Any other reports and papers?
Says you have to advise it from there.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I lay upon the table in terms of Rule 222 of the Standing Rules and Orders, reports of the Auditor General on the accounts of the Office of the Auditor General for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, Municipality of Swakopmund for the financial year ended 30 June 2024, Town Council of Ondangwa for the financial year ended 30 June 2024, Town Council of Enana for the financial year ended 30 June 2023, Namibia Press Agency for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, Criminal Assets Recovery Fund for the financial year ended 31st March 2024, and National Road Safety Council for the financial year ended 31st March 2024. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Please table the report, Honorable Minister. Any further reports and papers? Notices of questions? Okay, Honorable Katamelo? No? Honorable Susiku? Yeah, I have a list now here. Or are you sitting in the place where Honorable Susiku sits?
Here because it's a vacant seat that I can just be heard on the mic.
Yeah, it's okay. But when you have to rise when I call the name of that person. Yes, now the next person is Honorable Susiku. Yeah. Otherwise, you put your hand up where you are. Otherwise, I can't recognize you because I'm only seeing the names here. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker and honorable members of this august House, I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 26th of September 2025, I shall move by asking the Minister of Health and Social Services, Honorable Luvindau, the following. Honorable Minister, there are quite huge numbers of mobile clinics countrywide with inadequate services to reflect such status. The only known service in those mobile clinics are services related to family planning. And sometimes those mobile clinics open once or twice a month, leaving communities in limbo. The following mobile clinics are example of this situation. Kwena Mobile Clinics in Zambezi and Nakabolelwa Mobile Clinic, as well as Makanga Mobile Clinics. But there are a lot of mobile clinics countrywide of this nature. Masogotwani Health Center lacks transport to visit the nearest mobile clinic for monitoring and responses, which is Kwena in this regard. Based on this background, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister the following. One, why opening mobile clinics without a transitional program in place? Two, what is the ministry's long-term plan in addressing these challenges? Third one, how many mobile clinics were turned into clinics from 2023 to date? Fourth one, when do the ministry intend to promote those mobile clinics to fully fledged clinics? 5, are those mobile clinics fully monitored? And if so, can the minister provide proof of such? 6, are there mechanisms in place to ensure that those mobile clinics become effective in those communities? Lastly, why do the ministry approve mobile clinics without proper services for the communities? Honorable Minister, mobile clinics in rural areas must be community friendly. Easy cases should be attended at those mobile clinics. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member, table the question. Table the question, Honorable Member. Unparliamentary. Honorable Hishono. Yes. Unfortunately, you are. I can only recognize the ones who are here. The rest would have to put up their hand after that. So now it's Honorable Hishono.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on the Thursday, 25 September 2025, I will ask the Honorable Minister of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sport, Art and Culture, Honorable Sanet Senkamp, my colleague. Please. The Auditor General has issued an adverse audit opinion on the accounts of the National Youth Service for the financial years ended 31 March 2022, 2023, and 2024, stating that the financial statements do not fairly present the financial position of the service. This is the most severe findings possible and points to a complete collapse of financial control and governance. The basis of this adverse opinion included the illegal failure to consolidate the financial results of the 200% owned subsidiaries, pervasive and material misstatement, overstating assets and understating liabilities by millions of dollars, and a consistent overstatement of revenue. Furthermore, the report confirms the NYS is technically insolvent, with current liabilities exceeding current assets by 101.6 million, and that has illegally failed this, listen attentively, failed to remit 82 million in pay-as-you-earn taxes to NAMRA. Therefore, I ask the Honorable Minister the following. Why haven't the accounting officers and the board management held accountable for this catastrophe governance? Why? What is the minister's urgent plan to address the 82 million in outstanding pay-as-you-earn taxes owed to NAMRA, a debt accrued from deductions from employee salaries? And what consequence will the responsible officials face for this violation of the
Point
Income
of order, Honorable Member.
Tax Act?
Yes, Honorable Member, take a seat for a moment. Please freeze the time. On what point is the member raising?
Honorable Speaker, I'm raising on point of order that we have a substantive committee, this House has a substantive committee to deal with financial reports tabled in this House, to analyze and to make recommendations to this House. And that committee is the Public Accounts Committee. Now, while the Public Accounts Committee, which is a substantive committee of this August House, is busy dealing with this report, the honorable members put questions that are being dealt with by the same committee of this August House.
Okay.
Is that the correct
No,
procedure, or what is the way forward?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Member. Can we just be to the point? So if the report that the Honorable Member is querying is referred to a standing committee, the rules are saying any matter that is referred to a standing committee cannot be a subject of discussion. Is the matter referred, yes or no?
No.
Is it referred, Honorable Member? Was this report tabled here and referred to the Standing Committee on Public Accounts?
The Honorable Member is wasting my time.
Seriously?
Yeah, just one moment, Honorable. Yes, just a straight to the point, yes or no, is it referred?
Just yes or no?
When? By who?
Yeah.
It's not
Honorable
according
Member,
to-
we are told that the report is referred. And on that basis, until we can confirm,
No, Speaker, stand up. Continue.
no, it cannot be a debate. Is it somebody is not telling the truth or what?
Yes.
Do we know?
Honorable Speaker, may
Yes,
I
on a
finish?
point of order, please, Honorable Member, take a seat. Yes. Yes.
This always
One
happens
moment,
when I'm
please,
talking.
quickly, so that we don't spend too much time. Yeah. Yeah.
Public
So is that report referred?
No.
So, okay, then you may take your seat if it's not referred. So, Honorable Member, please finish. If we find that it's referred, we will disqualify the question. Yeah.
I know when every time I stand to speak, someone comes with something like that.
Okay,
My last question to my Honorable
That's
Minister.
why I don't like point of order generally, but you members are saying I'm biased. So I don't like unnecessary disruptions. So, Honorable, if you may proceed.
When will the
Proceed,
minister,
Honorable.
when will the minister present a comprehensive report to this House detailing the steps taken to rectify every single findings in the Auditor General's report to ensure that the National Youth Service can one day produce financial statements that are legal, credible, and trustworthy? And, Honorable Speaker,
The time is up.
since my time was taken,
No,
this,
we froze the time. Yeah.
Yes,
Can
yes,
the Honorable Member
I was
please table
disturbed.
the questions?
I was disturbed, and this is in public.
Can the Honorable Member please table the questions?
Table the question. It's a public knowledge.
No, we froze the time. Yeah. Thank you. I recognize Honorable Haitota. No, please take your seat because he's passing. Yeah, okay, point of privilege.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm seeing a new face.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe others know know her. I don't know her.
Okay, just to
maybe
the
you
point,
could,
honorable member, who is that one? Where is the new face?
Here. She's
Yeah, that's
here.
a staff member from the secretariat, from the legal services. She's here. Usually they come there to assist.
Yeah, but we have been arguing.
Okay, then
Honorable
we will
Speaker.
announce her name.
Honorable Speaker, you see the issue that always brings problem in this house since we started is the issue of procedures. When the procedures are not followed, then we question them.
Okay, what is
Then
the
it
procedure
becomes
that is violated?
The procedure was you could have announced when we started who
Okay,
she
under
is,
which rule?
so that we can know.
Under which rule?
Under the-
Thank you,
okay.
honorable member, but there was no breach of procedure. It could have been nice to do it, but there is no breach of procedures. Yeah, so thank you. Can we please proceed? Honorable, I was recognizing Honorable who? Haitota. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please proceed, madam.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 25th of September 2025, I shall ask the Right Honorable Prime Minister the following questions. Allow me to remind this House that the Prime Minister made an announcement during the stakeholders consultative meeting on the formalization of informal settlements that took place at Samola Machel in Windhoek that the Namibian government has allocated more than 500 million toward this project. The 500 million would be prioritized to ensure that every Namibian enjoys the dignity of proper sanitation, potable water, electricity, and access roads. That promise brought hope to thousands of our citizens who continue to live under deplorable conditions in unplanned settlements. Honorable Speaker, despite this commitment, progress on the ground remains painful slow. Informal settlements are expanding at the arming rate across the town and cities, especially in Windhoek, Wabash Bay, Oshakati, Rundu, and other growing centers. Our people are still denied proper housing and essential service, exposing them to fires, floods, diseases outbreaks, and insecurity. The formalization of informal settlement is not a favor to our people. It's a constitutional obligation rooted in the right to dignity, equality, and adequate shelter. It's also central to our developmental agenda and Vision 2030. It's therefore pertinent to ask, number one, can the Right Honorable Prime Minister inform this House how far are they with this implementation report of informal settlements, the percentage, and what region is needed to benefit from this 500 million? Second question, what tangible steps has the Office of the Prime Minister has taken since he promised to accelerate the formalization of informal settlements? Why has there been such a delay in implementing resolutions that were already acknowledged as urgent by the government? Second last question, what specific timeline does the Office of the Prime Minister have in place for the provision of service land, affordable housing, and basic infrastructure in these communities? Last question, how is the Office of the Prime Minister going to collaborate with the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development, regional councils, local authorities, and other stakeholders to fast-track the process of upgrading and formalizing the settlements? I to submit.
Table the questions, please. Yeah. So while the honorable member is coming to present her questions, I just would like to remind the members that in terms of Rule 85, questions, a mover of a question is given 3 minutes and only one chance. So I have seen that sometimes a person has 3 sets of questions. It's once, yeah, and it's 3 minutes. So you can't say 3 and 3 and 3 and 9. That's what the rules are saying. So Honorable Mbura, Rule 85, 1, you go to questions. You see the table. So Honorable Mbura, you have the floor, please.
Because this is a urgent oral question.
Okay, please let's check who are other members that may have written questions. Honorable Lucato? So Secretariat, please take the list of those who have oral questions. It was Honorable Venani, Honorable Mvula. Now we go to Honorable Lucato because they are not listed here.
Honorable Speaker, Members of Parliament, leaders of all political parties, good day and thank you for the platform.
Just take them down.
I raise today that on 2nd October 2025, I shall ask the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Mining and Energy, Natangwe Itete. Honorable Speaker, there has been a project launched in 2024 by the former Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Tom Alwendo, involving billions of dollars donations from Germany for the country at large, 14 regions. It was launched in Zambezi region, Katima Muliro town, aimed at improving the electricity rectified to all schools and the villages in the Republic of Namibia. However, I could not find information confirming this and that the lack of resources is hindering the process. My question is, now, when will the project start for the entire Namibia? 2, how far is the program? Because many Namibians are in rural areas are without electricity. Honorable Speaker, I so submit.
Thank you. Honorable Member, please table the question. Honorable Kumbwa, oh, sorry, let the Honorable Member please take his seat first. I recognize Honorable Kumbwa. Okay, so thank you very much. Then I recognize Honorable Binge. Oh, it's an oral question. Then Honorable, oh, sorry, I don't know where the name of Honorable Muton went. Maybe, but now the mic will be with the next person. So here, Secretariat, please take note. Honorable Muton did ask for the floor, but his name is nowhere. Huh? Whose seat is that one, Honorable Muton? Honorable Kalangura. Who? Kanguru. It doesn't at all. It's at the end here. Okay. Okay, now we have Honorable Mashindange, and then Honorable Brinkman, and then Honorable Kanguru. That's when Honorable Muton would come. Yeah, just put up your hands and the Secretariat should please take the list. Eh? Yeah, okay. Just put up your hand like this, and then Secretariat, please take note.
Honorable Speaker, I was the last because mine is also an oral agent question.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Then we have Honorable Kanguru, Honorable Muton.
Okay, thank you, Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 2nd of October, I shall ask the Minister of ICT the following questions. The Access to Information Act was enacted in 2022, yet the Swaziland government still has not nominated an Information Commissioner and Deputy Information Commissioner. This is a very important piece of legislation because it allows the public to have access to key government information and improves accountability. Yet, 3 years has passed without the implementation of this act. Without an Information Commissioner, this act cannot be practiced freely and the public has no avenue to enforce the accountability of institutions who fail to comply. The Access to Information Act provides 2 avenues of gaining information. Proactive, that should be published in the public domain yearly by these institutions. Reactive, where specific information can be requested through the Commissioner. Both these scenarios require the Commissioner to ensure compliance. The current administration speaks out against corruption, yet they fail to implement measures that will keep the government accountable by providing the public access to information. I therefore ask the following. Why has this process taken 3 years and counting? Has a selection committee been established? How far is the process of appointing the information commissioner? And when can we expect the full implementation of this act? Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Member, may I have the questions, please? Now, thank you very much. Now, which of the honourable members have a written notice of a question? Yeah, please, you honourable member, you may take the floor. Or maybe you should speak from the mic that is nearby.
New name what?
Yes, Secretariat, please note the person that is speaking so that the question is not
Honorable
activated.
Somaib.
Honourable Somaib, please note that. Yes, Honourable Somaib, please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 25th of September, I shall ask the Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Elia Kurari, the following. Honorable Prime Minister, we received best rain in Namibia during last rainy season. And farmers got excited with better dreams of farming. Because this rainfall gave us better grazing for wildlife and for farming animals. Honorable Prime Minister, your office announced and declared the period of drought relief program on emergency got ended as a result of good rain. And us as Namibians also felt, at least with good rain, all farmers can sustain themselves and government can also focus on different issues that affect the country in general. Honorable Prime Minister, as I've indicated prior, good rainfall ensure us massively with best grazing wildlife as well as farming animals, but this hope was cut short by continuous veld fire over the country, more particularly in Erongo, Kunene, Osikoto and Omaege regions, but also all over Namibia. During this continuous veld fire, our community, mostly communal farmers, are struggling to fight against these veld fires. Thanks goes to commercial farmers that always assist communal farmers during this disaster. As some areas are totally burned down to ashes, but during the past 3 weeks, as there was no hope and help from the central government. So, Honorable Prime Minister, therefore, I ask you as accountable office for natural disasters the following. What is your office intervention during this devastating situation of veld fire? How can we equip the divisions and ministry, especially the Ministry of Forestry, with equipment that they can be always ready to assist our communal farmers during this disaster of veld fires? As most of our communal farmers are struggling on their own, and the land ministry is not having better equipment as well as fleets. It's so disappointing that so-called Ministry of Forests are allocated with sedan vehicles to fight fire. So, my question is, how best intervention can you do to support our communal community instead of relying on commercial farmers? Since you declare the duration of drought relief emergency come to the end, what intervention methods can you initiate to assist these affected farmers as their hopes are cut short by a natural disaster? So I submit, Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Did I call on Honorable Brinkman? Because I see the name there. Do you have a written notice of a question?
Yes, Speaker.
Please, you may take the floor.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I do hereby give notice that on Thursday, 18th September 2025, I shall ask the Honorable Minister of Health,
The IT team must please look at that.
Honorable Minister, it has been reported that the Ministerial State Hospital is experiencing a severe shortage of transport, impairing its ability to transport sick patients. Furthermore, ambulance drivers are not readily available due to recent shift changes imposed by their supervisor, worsening the transportation crisis. These challenges have resulted in the tragic loss of life, including the recent accident wherein an 8-month pregnant mother and her sister lost their lives while traveling in a police van at the back, for that matter, because ambulance services were not available. Secondly, the death of a 5-month-old child 3 days back due to bowel obstruction, which is believed to have been caused by the absence of a referral or an ambulance driver at that critical time. Can the Honorable Minister clarify what immediate and sustainable measures the Ministry intends to implement to address the transport and ambulance shortages, especially in Marintal, and improve staffing and shift management for ambulance drivers? Secondly, it has come to my attention that despite the existence of a fully functional oxygen tank at this same hospital, the leadership is opting to purchase small cylinders instead of servicing the oxygen plant. This decision appears to be a waste of resources and leaves patients at risk. Recently, a young woman on oxygen support lost her life because of delays and inefficiencies related to oxygen supply. Can the Honorable Minister also clarify how the Ministry will address this misallocation of resources that put indeed patients' lives at risk, and whether the oxygen plant will receive the servicing it so needs? So I submit.
Thank you. Honorable Member, may please table the questions. Please table the questions. Thank you. Now we have 20 minutes for urgent oral questions, and I have a list of members here. Every member would be allowed an opportunity to ask one question, and I will listen to the questions. If it is not justified for urgent oral question, I will rule it out. Now I will start with the Honorable Venani.
Honorable Speaker, the legendary Sarah Nanjila Kongera Madira, give me 1 minute for a point of, what do you call it? Point of privilege. Madam Speaker, you studied in the United States of America. Your English is very sound. I want you to reflect 1 minute again on your ruling. A question, Madam Speaker, every question is recorded here as a separate agenda point of the House, or an item of the House. Yes. There can't be a blanket assumption by the ruler, by a ruling, to assume that a member of Parliament must only come once to the House, he or she must only ask one question, and that question only takes place under 3 minutes. When it means once, it means you will only have a chance to ask that one question in 3 minutes once that question. You can move to another question and ask 3 minutes once. That's the interpretation, and I want you to reflect on it, but I'm not fighting your ruling. Craving your indulgence to ask an urgent oral question under Rule 135 of the House, Madam Speaker, I want to ask the Minister of Lions, Tourism, and all those elephants. Meme Daniel, I rise to ask you an urgent oral question whether you are aware, in the beautiful village of Mukwe, Kavango East region, there are 7 roaming elephants that are really putting that village under havoc. It's 3 times that I've received calls from Mukwe, where people are complaining that there are elephants in their compounds, 7 of them. Today they saw 5, yesterday there were 7, now there are 5.
Okay.
And the guards or your rangers are saying these elephants should not be moved because they are unruly or naughty, and therefore the villagers must not attend to them. But as we are speaking, there are 2 elderly women, names that I withhold, that cannot go and fetch water from their houses to the tap because the elephants are running the village amok. As Minister of Tourism, Elephants and all those matters of our fauna and flora, have you heard about these elephants in the village of Mukwe? Have you spoken to the guards? And if you hear from me, will you engage your guards to really go and assist those villagers for them to be able to do something? Because the school kids are also claiming that they cannot, some of them are not going to school because these elephants are just in their way and they are eating and they are right there. So I want to know from you.
Yes, thank you very much. Let's take as many people as we can. Can Honorable Mvula please pose his question?
All right, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Well, whilst Chapter 3 of our Constitution and Article 15, the children's rights, Article 2 may not apply, we however have an obligation under the United Nations Children's Charter on Children's Rights, and specifically on the protection of a child against economic exploitation. I would then like, in that context, would like to pose a question to, supposed to be the Minister of Gender, Equality and Child Welfare, but if I may allow to pose it to the Deputy who is present, that, you know, as a father, I think it's actually horrible to note that in this country we have the Hakaone children roaming the streets of not only Ondangwa, not only Rundu, but Windhoek, and soon I'm not too sure whether we have taken stock where else do these children roam the streets. And these are underage children, and it seems that it's for economic reasons that these children roam the streets. Of course, I'm sure the Deputy Minister has come across 1 or 2 of them, if not a whole group. Now, looking at the relationship or the assumption that these children might be from Angola, as the Hakaone is a tribe that is well known to be predominantly from Angola. Honorable Deputy Minister and Minister and the Deputy Minister, what have we taken, what have we done to arrest this situation? Have we taken stock of how many of these children are here, and what are we going to do about it? Or is our relationship with the Angolan government only for on political basis and not on humanitarian and other social needs of our people? So that is actually,
okay, thank you, Honorable Member. Now there, really, I give the discretion to the Deputy Minister because the primary responsibility to account is with the Minister. So I will understand it if the Deputy Minister is not able to answer the question, but she will get the floor to indicate if she can do that. Now, I want the oral agent questions to be shorter than 3 minutes, because if we take too many, there will be no time to respond. So 1 question, then I call upon Honorable, yeah. No, I will explain that later. We are now oral agent question. Yeah, Honorable Kumbwa. Oh, you said the minister is not here. Okay, Honorable Mbinge.
Good afternoon, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members. I'm rising to ask a question to the Honorable Minister of Finance, Honorable Erika Shafuda. Honorable Minister, it was officially announced these days through the radios that the National Social Welfare Cash Grant payments will be done through NAMPOST. And it was announced that the process will start in October, and all the members will come to the nearest NAMPOST offices for registrations. The questions of the Namibian people living far in the remote areas are, how will they be considered in this process? How will they reach the towns for registrations? And they are raising a lot of concerns because during the current verifications, some were in car accidents as they were traveling from rural areas to Opuo for verifications, and lives were lost. And elders and people living with disabilities are coming to towns where they don't have accommodations, where the lines at the NAMPOST are very long, and they are suffering. Therefore, they are asking, is it possible for NAMPOST to have mobile teams going around villages to register these parents and old age people, rather than being transported to the towns? That's my question, Honorable Minister.
Yes, thank you. Now, Honorable Mwashindange.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to post an oral agent question to the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Erika Shafuda, following a concerning NBC report this afternoon. It appears the Honorable Minister has instructed the NAMRA Commissioner, Tatesem Shivute, to investigate serious allegations of misconduct against himself. This decision is a direct challenge to the principles of good governance. My question is therefore very simple. Honorable Minister, will you suspend the Commissioner and order an independent external investigation into these allegations to prove that this government is really committed to accountability, or just a mere political rhetoric? I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So now we have 9 minutes for responses, and I would just like to implore, I know that this is a difficult one, but we should try to comply with the rule that says that we avoid mentioning names of people, because people have the assumed innocent until proven guilty, and they are not here to defend themselves. So we can pose these questions without mentioning the people so that they are assumed guilty before they are proven guilty. Now, I call upon the Minister of Environment and Tourism on the question posed by Honorable Venani.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Venani, thank you very much for the question. I really appreciate that because you really take interest in the ministry, and for that matter, I would even invite you for any advice and any concern that you have, that we discuss it also on the table, because anything that is to the betterment on the control of wild animals is always highly appreciated. On the information of the elephants, yeah, it's a pity that I don't always receive information of the staff on a daily basis, what they are doing in the field. But what the point that I want to raise is, when it comes to elephants, yes, they do come into conflict with human and domestic animals, but one of the issues that we also have to take note of, if we talk about it specifically for elephants that you have mentioned, they are very territorial. They have their corridors even if they passed there 20 years ago and you're telling me that you have been there for 10 years, if it's time for them to pass there, they will come. But unfortunately, very often they do not ask permission. But yes, we have control mechanism in place. Should they be noticed in an area, we have staff around the country and they know what to do in order to remove it. But in that specific incident, I'm not aware, but I will take it up.
Thank you very much. Deputy Minister of Gender, are you in a position to respond? Yes, Honorable Member.
Speaker, I make reference to, Honorable Speaker, I make reference to Rule 129(1) that say a member may address a question to a minister relating to a public matter for which the minister is responsible. In that I see it's a deputy minister and the question is addressed to a minister as per the rule. I just feel at a certain point it's not so clear. The question should be addressed to a minister.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. You see, I have already raised that point. That is why I said to the member to say, in terms of the Constitution, deputy ministers assist ministers. The powers of the executive power in regard to a sector is vested in a minister. That minister delegates the deputy as part of assisting them. And therefore, that the deputy minister cannot just do things without the delegation of a minister and represent. Otherwise, that minister cannot be held accountable for something said by the minister impromptu. So I don't want to enter, I want to hear whether the deputy minister is in a position to answer, because I don't want to prevent her if she is able to respond. So we will not have a discussion on that one. Honorable Deputy Minister, yeah. Please let's hear, time is going, otherwise we will not be able to have these questions answered. Eh? We can have a point of privilege. Yeah, no, I'm just looking that side. Yeah. After we have answered, Honorable, because time is going, yeah, freeze the time now. Huh?
Yeah, Comrade Speaker, I would like to draw your attention that the sole question to the Deputy Minister must be whether she has been delegated by the Minister or not. If not, then she cannot be requested to respond to the question here. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. But I know to honorable members, please, I have indicated the minister is not, deputy minister is not compelled, but I can't prevent her. If she is able to do that, can we just hear her out? Yeah, this is an unnotified question, so if she's unable to answer the question for one reason or another, then we move to the next one. Yeah, Deputy Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable, now I forget your name.
It's okay.
Ebola, for your good question. Yes, the kids are there, Kwagolan children on the streets, but now I'm not having your question now. I will convey the question to the minister to respond.
So, Honorable, just put the question in writing so that the minister would be able to respond, or you contact the ministry so that you get that information. So now I proceed to Honorable, to the question of Honorable Mashindange to the Minister of Finance. Ne? To Honorable, yeah, Honorable, okay, I don't know why I didn't. Okay, the question of Honorable Sheundo, was it Honorable Sheundo first or Honorable Mashindange? To the Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also stand on Rule 135 to respond to the critical questions. And I always like questions from the women's side because they are always critical. Thank you, Honorable Pinker, right? Okay. Yes, since the question was on social grants, especially when it comes to payouts, I stand to respond then as follows, that yes, we confirm that is from October 2025, NAMPOST will take over the services of social grants. Then in that case, I acknowledge the fact that it is true, most of our rural people, the vulnerable ones, live far from the towns, and arrangements have been made for NAMPOST to make use of mobile vehicles to reach those, to bring the services closer to the people. I think that's what we normally say. That they are also making use of the existing pay points where possible. Only in far remote areas will they then use mobile vans or mobile teams to reach to our people, because that is what is critical, is for people to benefit from this grant that the responsible government has provided for them. I believe that is fine. Now, when we come to Honorable Mashidangi, if I can continue.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Fine? Okay. Now, NBC made that announcement, if I can put it that way. They are emphasizing on the point of favoritism, they are alleging, favoritism and nepotism. When these two items were brought to my attention, right to the commissioner to investigate himself, no responsible government will do that, especially when you have a board. So I asked the board to investigate, right? So when the outcome is known, then I will also share. I so submit.
Very good. Thank you very much. Yeah. So can we at least today try to move to the to proceed notices of motions, so that we can try to touch on the items on the agenda? Notice of motions? Notice of motions? None? Yes. Honorable Tenya? Oral question, aye. Up to not a minimum of. Now, Honorable Tenya?
Yes. Honorable Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, I rise today to table a motion to this August House on making tourism accessible to all Namibians by creating a special rates for locals at NWR facilities across Namibia. While our country is globally admired for its majestic landscapes and rich biodiversity, the reality is that it remains a painful irony that many of our own citizens remain excluded from experiencing the wonders of Etosha, Sosplay, Fish River Canyon, not because of the lack of interest, but due to unaffordability. Now, I commend the government for granting free entrance to Etosha National Park and other resorts for Namibian citizens, yet the cost of accommodation and the recreational activities within the parks remain very high. Similarly, iconic destinations such as Fish River Canyon and the Namib Naukluft Mountain offers hiking experiences that are financially out of reach for most of the locals. I also acknowledge the efforts of private sector. Honorable Speaker, am I protected?
I sit down, man.
Yeah. Yes, Honorable. No, please. Oh. Yes. Yes.
I'm waiting for my namesake. Maggie is here. Maggie. Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I'm raising because I'm concerned. Concerned how our Speaker applies her rules selectively. Not long ago, Speaker, you were ruling members of this House out of order because they had a page-long motion. And whilst we are here, you are allowing and beautifully protecting another member of the same House who is having 10 pages of a motion.
No, you will not be allowed to read the 10 page. Just take it from me.
I'm almost
you will
there.
not be allowed to.
I'm almost there, Speaker.
Yes.
I was almost landing.
Okay, please.
My plea to you, Honorable Speaker, is that you apply the rules impartially.
I do.
Please.
I do. Please. So the honourable members know that the motions are supposed to be brief and to the point. And I do apply the rules equitably. Honourable member, please proceed.
Speaker.
Noting that point. Yes.
Speaker, I also acknowledge the efforts of private sector players such as Gondwana Collection Namibia, whose Gondwana card membership program offers discounted rates of to Namibian citizens.
Yes.
I therefore move, however, this is not sufficient, especially that their benefits are only applicable for very few results. I therefore move that the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism and the collaboration with NWR should implement special discounted rates for Namibian citizens across all NWR facilities and services, especially on accommodation and recreational activities. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I therefore move that this motion be debated by this August House and referred to the relevant standing committee to report back to this House. I therefore submit.
Thank you, honourable member. Please table the motion. Yeah. So I think the staff should help us with the clock there so that I'm able to follow. But it is not so that a member will be allowed to read a page. And I also want to remind the members, the rules place an obligation on us to respect them. We cannot always be here complaining about the speaker to enforce the rules. I am not a classroom teacher. I am presiding over leaders who are heads of organizations. No, the honorable members must also take their responsibilities seriously. Notices of motion, any further notice of a motion? Yes, honorable member. Yeah, it is on now.
Yes, thank you. I hereby give notice that Honorable Aina Hanganeni Koti will be on leave of absence due to medical reasons for an extended period of time in accordance with Standing Rule 76, 1A. I so submit.
Okay, thank you. Please table the motion. Yes, very good. To the point. Yes. Now, I see the list here. Honorable Kanyemba. Honorable Kanyemba. Honorable Kanyemba, you have the floor, please. You may proceed, Honorable.
Honorable Speaker, I hereby give notice that on Wednesday, the 25th of September 2025, I shall move that this Honorable House debate the urgent need for the Ministry of Defense to introduce a strict time in rank framework to combat promotion stagnation within the Namibian Defense Force. This will force the government to benchmark against Botswana and South Africa's clear promotions timeline, set maximum year pay rank, and give automatic pay rises to soldiers.
Honorable members, please. Okay, just one moment, but this is a last point of order, Honorable Werikwa, that I will allow because the point of orders are becoming too many. Yeah, this is not directed to you, but please just proceed.
Speaker, the honourable member is raising, as a member of the Defence and Security Committee, is raising an issue that has been discussed at the Committee of Defence and Security, and that very issue has been taken up and is still within the preambles and realities of the Defence and Security.
So the issue is before the
committee. It's being dealt at the committee level.
It's on the agenda.
Yes, as the chairperson, I'm talking also of a chairperson of international relations, Defence and Security.
Yeah, no. Honorable member, can you confirm or deny? Is it so that that matter is before the committee?
No, it's not.
Yeah, so honorable member, if it is confirmed that that issue is on the agenda of the committee, it will be ruled out. Secretariat, please note that. Yeah, and I'm taking you to be saying the correct things. Yeah, honorable member, you may proceed.
No.
Honorable member.
The goal is to make promotions predictable. The goal is to make promotions predictable, fair, and competitive with regional standards. I so move.
Yeah, thank you, honorable member. Yes. Honorable member can table the motion, please. And then the honorable member will make a point of privilege. The member can table. I have already indicated that if it's found that what Honorable Werikwa said is correct, the motion will not be allowed. Yeah. Yeah, take your seat, honorable member, because there is a member between you and I now. You need to take your seat. Yes, point of privilege, honorable member. Yes, you have the floor.
I don't know what the chairperson of the Committee on International Relations, Defense and Security have spoken about is not taken as the reality. I rose to confirm that it was even this morning on the floor of the committee. What he says of benchmarking, even the countries that he is mentioning, is part this morning, 9 o'clock, when we were in the committee. It was part of it.
Ewa.
So, Honorable Speaker, I rise to confirm that it's in fact true. And the minutes can reveal that it's the truth.
Thank you.
And we cannot lie here. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Mwashindange said that the chairperson was lying. He's not even part of that committee, and it's even unparliamentary. He must withdraw.
Thank you, honorable member. Honorable members, please, can you, honorable member, you have the floor? Yeah.
Honorable Speaker, I'm finding it a bit untoward where once you post a question, of course, a member is on the floor, and I can confirm without any ambiguity whatsoever that the member is a member of my committee, number one. Number two, the issue that is raised, when you go back to our minutes, even the reports of today, and it's very interesting that, Honorable Speaker, you ought to be allowing a member calling another person a liar without any punitive measure whatsoever or corrective measure being employed to that person.
I didn't hear that.
Secondly, Honorable Speaker, as a chairperson of that very committee,
you are out of order, Honorable Hishono.
Honorable Hishono, you still have a 250,000 to pay to the courts. We don't want to go that route.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Honorable member.
What I'm saying is that, Honorable Speaker, I am confirming as a chairperson of my committee.
I have noted that, Honorable member.
The motion stands nowhere and it is rejected. The issue is being dealt with at the committee level.
Yeah. No, yes. Honorable member, I cannot do that. I have to confirm when a matter is raised, when a point of order or point of privilege is raised, pointing out that something that is being presented for consideration cannot be considered because of a rule. I have to confirm that. I have already indicated that we will check, and if it is established, we would not admit it. So I don't really think there is any need for concern. Yeah. So please, Honorable Mulunga. Yeah, point of, Honorable Nekongo, point of what? Privilege.
Which privilege?
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, I'm getting worried
point of privilege
that members goes out in committee's work. They do the work of the committee, and then they turn that into their motions. And I think that is what is going to happen. I have seen it, many of them, many of the motions that you see, or even some questions, are work of the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Member. That point is made already. Can we, Honorable Members, agree to proceed? We cannot belabor the issue that has been addressed, because we cannot also say the Speaker cannot apply her mind on issues. I cannot agree. I'm not agreeing to any point of order or privilege on this issue anymore. Honorable Kanguru has the floor.
No.
Yeah, please, is that, who was having the floor? Honorable Mulunga. It is Honorable Mulunga, sorry. Then Honorable Muton would follow.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Wednesday, 22nd October 2025, I shall move to debate the integration of non-performing green schemes into the Namibia Correctional Service Agricultural Program. Namibia Correctional Service operates agricultural farms at various correctional facilities which are flourishing, achieving their mandate of reducing Namibia's reliance on food imports and contributing to national food security, while they further provide inmates with valuable agricultural skills, enhancing their prospect for reintegration into society. I therefore move that this House discuss the option of transferring all non-performing green schemes to the Namibia Correctional Service, and that this matter gets referred to the relevant Parliamentary Standing Committee. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Short to the point.
The Honorable Member may take
Short to the point. Short.
Honorable Muton, honorable members. Yeah, now point of privilege, Honorable Cooper. Honorable Muton, there is a point of privilege by Honorable Cooper.
Redirected here.
Okay, so now I think she's giving it up. So Honorable Muton, please proceed.
I hereby give notice that I shall move a motion on the 23rd of September that the Committee on Standing Rules and Orders discuss the following suggestions to improve the effectiveness of Parliament.
Come again. Start again, Honorable Member.
I hereby give notice that I shall move a motion on the 23rd of September that the Committee on Standing Rules and Orders discuss the following suggestions to improve the effectiveness of Parliament.
Honorable Member, you cannot give a notice to table it. Just one moment.
The Speaker to start our session on time, to apply the limitations.
Honorable Member, can you please take your seat a moment? No, Honorable Members, take your seat. Both of you, take your seat. Honorable Deputy Chief Whip. No, Honorable Honorable Member. Honorable members, can I have your attention? Yeah. Honorable members, yeah. Yeah, Honorable Muton, you cannot move a motion to get a standing committee to discuss an issue. You move a motion to motivate an item in the House. You can't read it like that. And if the House, then it can be agreed that after the discussion, the House refers it to a committee. But you cannot say, I move a motion for the Standing Rules Committee to discuss. No, that one you will have to amend your motion. I cannot accept it like that, Honorable Muton. Okay, yeah. What can any...
Standing Rules and Orders to discuss the following suggestions.
Yeah, say again. Come again. Can the members please allow me to hear?
On the 23rd of September, that this House discuss that this motion be referred to the Committee on Standing Rules and Orders to discuss the following suggestions to improve the effectiveness of Parliament. To implore the Speaker to start our sessions on time, to apply the limitations on the number of times members can contribute, to consider sitting on certain Fridays until we are able to clear the backlog of motions and orders.
No,
Rule 14 of the Standing Rules and Orders make provision that the Assembly can determine the time of sitting. I so move.
So Honorable Member, you don't move a motion to ask the House to refer a topic to a committee. You must move a motion for a House to debate the issue and refer it after that. Yeah, yes, Honorable Members. And you must also stop point of privileges and oral agent questions. No, I will hit the hammer for as long as the Honorable Members continue to do that. Yeah, so because we have Honorable Members, we have sitting, these rules regulate how we are to deal with our matters. But we take the whole day asking for point of order and point of privilege. And I will assure you that you cannot continue to do that and ask to sit beyond the sitting hours or on special dates. It will not happen. That will only happen if we comply with the rules and we are unable to dispose of the item within the time that is allocated. That is the point. Yeah. Yeah, you may table it. You may table it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Honorable. Point of privilege.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the floor, Honorable Speaker. On point of privilege, I want to address Rule 72, and it's a general statement for all of us. Members are expected to act in good faith at all times and may not misuse or abuse the powers, rights and privileges granted by the Constitution and these standing rules, as well as the convention and practices of the Assembly. B, members are expected to act in the interest of the Namibian people and the Assembly. The reason why I'm raising this, Honorable Speaker, is we cannot just come up with motions and questions because it is indicated in the rules. Because we are all elected to address the interests of the public. So we will not reach the order paper if we always come up with questions and motions and privileges and point of order. So honorable members, let us be honorable and address the interests of the public whom we elected us to address their concerns in this house. And I'm requesting all of us with due respect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we proceed. Any ministerial statements? No, Honorable, 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah. Set the clock, Secretariat.
I think if we are not asking question here, the minute is going now.
Yeah, just proceed. Just proceed, Honorable Member.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I'm aware that we have got so lot of questions, but if the questions are not answered, what can we do in this house?
Because you are taking up time, even doing what you are doing now. You are taking up, now you are ruled out of order. Your point of privilege is out of order, Honorable Member.
Can I finish? Can I finish, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker.
No, I heard you, Honorable Member, and I have ruled that that's not a point of privilege, it's ruled out. Yeah. So now we proceed. Ministerial statements.
No, there are other motions.
Okay, Honorable Member, you have the floor. Yes, please. You may proceed.
I want to draw you to rule number 73, subsection 3D. The reason why we are not moving forward, I'll read first. Members must listen in silence to debates unless called to speak and may not make noise or other disorderly expressions in order to interrupt another member while speaking. What derails progress? We have members that I can even mention who likes making gestures. They start complaining before a member can even utter what he wants to say. These are the people who are derailing progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Hifikwa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on the 23rd of September 2025, I shall move that this House debates and calls for an urgent review of the promotional policy for grade 11 and 12, as the current system lacks transparent progression criteria
and in practice discourages high-performing learners while advancing underperforming learners, thereby failing to give fair recognition to those who truly deserve it. I recommend that this motion be referred to the relevant committee for further analysis and recommendation. I so move.
Thank you very much. The honourable member may table the motion. Yes, Honourable Kumbwa. Honourable Kumbwa may please take the floor.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for the floor. Honourable Speaker, honourable members, I rise to give notice that on Wednesday, 24 September 2025, I will move that the House deliberates on the following matter. Honourable members, corruption continues to evolve and grow more complex. It is therefore imperative that the Anti-Corruption Commission is adequately resourced and supported to fulfill its mandate effectively, particularly in the areas of preventing corruption, public education and awareness, investigations, and so on and so on. At present, the Commission faces several bottlenecks, including understaffing, 120 staff members countrywide, including only 40 investigators and 25 public educators and corruption prevention officers. Limited regional presence, 5 officers across 14 regions. Limited training to handle complex and sophisticated forms of corruption emerging in sectors such as public procurement, resource management, digital governance, recruitment, promotion, and employment. Constructive dismissals is one of them, and termination of services in both private and public sectors. Honourable Speaker, honourable members, I am of the opinion that the following legislative reforms should be considered. 1. Establishment of a board of commissioners tasked with overseeing the operations of the Commission, ensuring the highest standards of integrity and transparency are maintained. 2. Public advertising of key positions, such as the Director General and Deputy Director, with open interviews to ensure transparency and accountability in the appointment of senior staff. 3. Expansion of investigation powers to grant the ACC greater authority to investigate and prosecute complex corruption cases, particularly in sectors such as public procurement, state-owned enterprises, and the management of natural resources, especially in cases.
Honourable Member, can you wind up?
I stress this one.
Can you wind up?
My last sentence. My last sentence. In cases involving prominent political leaders. Honourable Speaker, I therefore urge Parliament to debate, consider and support this legislative and institutional reform to strengthen public administration for the benefit of Namibia and its people. I so submit.
Honourable Member, please table the motion. Yeah. Table the motion, please. Okay, I recognize Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Speaker, I think just before, that's why I didn't want to interrupt. And let us be honest, I think we are new, but we are no longer new. If we have to evaluate the motion by Honorable Berta, Honorable Kumbwa, and Honorable Velebe, the one that passed the test is the one from Honorable Berta. So there is maybe a misunderstanding. The notice of
No, not granted, honorable members. Please take your seat. Take your seat.
No, I'm just saying, so there is a difference between notice and the motivation of the notice.
Thank you.
So the other members combined the notice
And the
together with the motivation. So, and then that's maybe what I wanted to say. That is a classical example. We need now to say, Honorable Berta, will you lead that course?
Thank you,
or whatever. But
Honorable
that
Member.
is just the distinction I wanted to show to the House and where, according to my interpretation, the mishap is.
Thank you, thank you. The House will now rise for 15 minutes. A break of 15 minutes. A break of 15 minutes, honorable members. Please, let's take our seats. Yes, honorable members. Yeah, very much, honorable members. I did follow up on the matter that was raised by Honorable Hishono regarding the financial statements of the National Youth Service for the financial year ended March 2022, 23, and 24. And I have received information from the front desk here that indeed such reports were tabled in this House on the 10th of September. And in terms of Rule 222, Sub 1, annual reports and audited financial statements are, when tabled in this House, referred to the Standing Committee on Public Accounts for examination of the said statements. So that is aligned to what was indicated by the member there. So that motion would be dismissed. Yeah, because that matter is before the Standing Committee. No, honorable members. No, not on that one. The ruling, because the rule says when a ruling is made, there will be no discussion on the ruling. Yeah, so please we proceed with Huh? What about? Is still to be confirmed. That was by Honorable Mashindange. The one of the National Youth Service. So the one on the defense and security, that one we are still to confirm it, and I will announce it since. So you, yeah. Yes, you have the floor.
No, Honorable Speaker, I think there is a confusion somewhere. The only thing I did in this House today was to ask an oral urgent question. Speaker, do I have your attention, Madam Speaker? Yes. So the only thing I did in this House was to ask an urgent oral question. I not notified to move a motion.
Front desk, can you please give me the motion? No, there is no fear. We just don't want to. Secretariat will do. It seems that they have taken that document, but the point is the motion, the notice of a motion that was given on the financial statement of the National Youth Service, and we will establish the facts in regard to the specific member that moved that motion. It has been established that that report was tabled here and it was referred to a standing committee. And by virtue of that, that motion would not be entertained. But we will establish the fact as to the mover of that motion. Yeah. So, no, okay, so we are done with that ruling. Now we were on, are there any further notice of motion? I think we finished. Ministerial statements? Yes, Honorable Minister of Labour. Justice and Labour.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise in accordance with Rule 136 of the Standing Rules, Order and Internal Arrangement of this August House. Honorable Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, on the 22nd of August 2025, I commenced the High Court Amendment Act, Act number 2 of 2004. Pursuant thereto, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry has been inundated with queries as well as requests for clarification as to what the legislative intention of this said Act is. Therefore, my ministerial statement this afternoon, Honorable Speaker, is occasioned by those requests. I want therefore to address this August House as to what is the primary purpose of the High Court Amendment Act. And I want to start by saying that before the reform, the system leaned more toward the creditors, and the amendment was therefore born out of a need to correct the constitutional weaknesses in how the immovable properties of family houses as well as residence or home of primary residence could be sold in execution to recover debts. The amendment sought to rebalance the scale of justice by protecting, the rights of the debtors, while also ensuring that the creditors have lawfully yet judicially monitored recovery process. So I therefore want to speak specifically to the key provisions of the Amendment Act, that it ensure that selling of people's home property, especially primary residence, is not treated as a routine procedure, but a measure of last resort. The key protection introduced by the amendment, and this is important for the members of this House for the purpose of educating the members of the public, it provides judiciary oversight, over home of primary residence. The law introduced, Section 35A into the High Court Act of 1990, and from now on, no immovable property may be sold in execution without express authorizations of the High Court. So a judge that is hearing a specific case that involves an application for an order for sale in executions of the home of a primary resident is obliged to carefully examine the case and be satisfied that the debtor has no sufficient movable property, such as vehicle, equipment, or as the case may be, in order to cover the debt in question. Also, the Act provides for stronger safeguard, over the primary home, in such that if the property at risk is the person's primary residence, the court must first and foremost hold an inquiry under the High Court rule. Only if the court is convinced that the selling of the home is the most appropriate and just option, that it may proceed to grant an order. Also, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, so the Amendment Act made provision for alternative to the forced sale, recognizing that there are often less destructive way to settle a debt. The Act gives the court power to craft alternative remedies, such as attaching other assets first, granting more time to pay, as well as authorizing voluntary sale by the homeowner. It also provides, among the alternative, the transferring of debt obligation to a willing relative. And also, it provides for issuing any other order that the court may find just and practical. So this flexibility, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, ensure that justice is tailored to circumstances rather than applied with the harsh instrument. Clear procedures on the protections as guaranteed in terms of the new rule. The reform also brought changes to the High Court rules, particularly Rule 108A, which set out clear procedures that must be followed by a creditor intending to bring an application for an order of a sale of a home in execution. Such creditor, in terms of the new rule, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, must make a formal application. Such debtor must give a proper notice, and an independent valuations must be filed. A debtor must equally have or has the right to oppose or to propose alternative to the sale in execution or to the application so brought. Hearings are held where both sides can be heard, and in addition, the judge president now has the power to set, reserve prices and binding condition preventing home from being sold off at a fraction of their true value. So this Amendment Act, Honorable Speaker, as I have announced, have taken effect on the 22nd of August 2025 when we commissioned same. Now, why is this law particularly important to us as a country? So this change make a decisive shift toward fairness and dignity in debt recovery. Debtors still have effective legal remedy, or creditor rather, still have effective legal remedy, but debtors, especially those at the risk of losing their primary homes or home of primary residence, are now shielded by meaningful judicial oversight and alternative. In simple terms, a person's home can no longer be lost overnight without a judge carefully weighing the option first. The High Court Amendment Act number 2 of 2024 is more than a technical legal adjustment. It is human-centered, or it is a human-centered reform. It ensures that people do not lose their home without judiciary scrutiny, that creditors act within fair boundaries, and that courts have the tool to seek balanced solution. I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, I invite the questions on the statement of the Honorable Minister. Honorable Benani. Yes, questions are requests for clarification, not debate.
Yes, just clarification. Mr. Minister, I don't know whether I'm getting old or... Mr. Minister, Honorable Minister, proper English, respectful. He's a Mr. Sir, are you more straight?
Honorable Member, you have 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
According to the
more than
rules.
enough. Honorable Minister, I don't know whether there is an epilepsy of my mind, but when I heard this thing, it was created through a court. A judge made a ruling. Parliament was in recess, and the court pronounced itself that properties will no longer be sold off. I want to know what legal process did you take for us to arrive at the law where it is right now? Because I thought, as minister, you will bring it here, we agree, and then the court will start acting on it. But we just had one of the senior judges, I think it's Judge President Damaseko, who announced it that from now on, going forward, this is going to be. And the job of the courts, of course, it goes without saying in law that their job is to interpret the laws, but this House makes the laws. So what process was taken, or was it a bylaw that was used by the court, or is it us that has approved and it went there? It's something that I'm just missing.
Thank you. Any further questions on the statement of the Minister, Honorable Kandorogo? Or just a moment so that the other member can.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Speaker, Honorable Minister. What I want to know, the court rule or the High Court rule or regulations, does it also specify when does the bank or financial institution have to take you to the court in terms of the figure, when you owe them 40,000, 60,000, or 80,000, or 100? I think if it is not included, it must also be included. Also, we have been witnessing quite a number of cases where our elders, pensioners, their homes have been executed due to municipal debts, not only debts with financial institutions. Is that also is included? And how can also the Ministry of Justice assist the pensioners, our vulnerable communities, with legal representative when it comes to those cases? Because some of them, they cannot afford to hire a lawyer. And when the letter of demand or execution letter or the summary is served at their houses, they don't know what to do with it, and they don't know where to go. But if there is a provision where they can go and get a legal aid, it might also help. Furthermore, on that one, when you are entering into an agreement of a mortgage, buying a house, there is a thin line, a blur line, that says the moment the financial institutions take you to court, it means it's a breach of contract. Even you are going to win the case, you have to start to renegotiate. They have to reassess your financial capability. So they have the right to say no, even you have win the case. So I think that part also must be well defined. Finally, while the case is going on, their legal representative invoice the bank, and then the bank load what you owe to the lawyer on your monthly payments. Also, that part also must be excluded from the whole process of litigation. I so submit.
Thank you. Honorable Aupindi.
Thank you, Minister, and I compliment you because this is a law that we passed during the 7th sitting with very good intention because of the vulturizing of people's homes, and definitely it's going to help. I wanted to ask, because the law itself is very solid and complementary and robust. Our intention was that this will be some kind of a work in progress, because many of the issues that were raised by some of the members, in particularly when it comes to insider trading, issues of interest rate, these are serious vultures that are sort of ripping the heart out of families. And therefore, these whole issues are they going to be, at what stage are you thinking of probably having some kind of interventionist? Because if you look at the balance sheets of these banks, they've actually turned the most basic asset that a family can own into their most profitable scenario. And therefore, are we going to also look at the issues that were raised to regulate even the market in terms of prices, but also in terms of interest rate? and the actual processes the Honorable Kandorodo has asked in terms of at what stage are they going to be able to now sell someone's house? Because many of them are going to play out and drag out the issue in court, and the bank will win on the competitive advantage because of their finances. We must act now. We must not have mercy on these people. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Lucato. I just want to remind us that the questions must be related to the statement of the Minister. Yeah. Honorable Lucato.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Member of Parliament. Before I come to my questions, let me commend you, Honorable Minister, for that law, amendment of that law. That law, which is already amended, it will help the masses of this country. It will bail out the masses of this country, those who cannot afford. So my problem there, I want to pose a question that this law, when you amended this law, did you consult the masses on the ground? Because the masses, they are going to be affected because, you know, they cannot afford legal representatives. That's the first question, that one. Second one, as you know that in Namibia, we have wealthy people, rich people. We have middle people, those who are, let me say, a little bit richer. But the masses, the masses of this country are not, they are poor, they live in poverty. So in the rural areas, this law, you say, how can this amendment reach the rural areas where the masses are there and then affected? But let me thank you and salute you for that. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Werikwa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As the last member was talking, I was thinking, since I'm a villager in Gam, and I'm sure that Gam is a rural area, I haven't seen banks that are repossessing houses in rural area. That is just in passing. However, I want to say, Honorable Minister, thank you very much for the progress, and I must also commend you, comment-wise, in the ranks and file where you grew up, and much of the progress you are making today. On the issue on the table, the houses that have so far been repossessed illegally, my question to the Minister, and I'm actually putting it as a submission, that we need to relook into those. Of course, those are transactions of the past, but there's nothing that prevents us to be retrospective as far as going back into looking as to how those issues have happened. Case in point, we have seen that the bank officials or staff members I would put, as it was put by Honorable Opindi, in collusion and conniving with the legal practitioners at some point, would cause the repossession of some of these houses with the intent of themselves becoming beneficiaries of these houses. We have come across a situation whereby bank officials, staff members and officers have become multiple property owners that are emanating from these very transactions. A house is put on the market, 370 is all what the bank wants, and eventually it is repossessed, but the buyer, eventually it is that very bank's official. So we also are holding the executive accountable. Who holds the commercial banks accountable? So this, Honorable Minister, I'm putting it to you, investigate this trend. People have lost houses, but the beneficiaries at the end of the day become the legal practitioners and the officials who are supposed to implement that very provision. It's a conflict of interest and it has to be looked into. Housing is a need. When you look, it is already declared in our country by Her Excellency, the Honorable the President, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, that we need to do everything and anything possible to make sure that we oil the machinery to provide housing. On the other end, we are losing housing, but also the key players, the family members. There are children who, because of the illiteracy rate of the parents, somehow their family members who are involved in some of these transactions, and the family or this elderly person end up losing their properties. We need to introduce laws that will guard against that, so that whatever that we do in the end we safeguard our families, safeguard our communities, and make sure that those that are to be held accountable should be held accountable for such dealing. Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. I so submit, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Lizazi.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Somaya. No passing between the presiding officer and the member of the
Thank you
floor.
very much, Honorable
Okay,
Speaker.
thank you.
I want to commend my counterpart for the law that was given. It's a very good move, recommendable. It's a wonderful move, and we thank you very much. I just wanted to find out on the following issues. When it comes to the enforcement, because of the intended consequences, how is it going to be done so that this can be enforced as it's stated in the inserted provision? So how is it going to be done? And then the second one, does the judiciary have the capacity and the resources to conduct detailed inquiries in such cases? Because I am afraid without capacity, we might find ourselves again in the same predicament and increasing on the backlog of the courts. And so we just have to look at what really capacity we have without the risk of not achieving the noble intended result of this provision. So the other last question is, when are we expecting the authorization of this provision? Is it soon, or are we still going to wait maybe for other mechanisms to be put in place so that this can be implemented? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, you now have the floor to respond.
I was on the margin of saying thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the questions put by the honorable members. I will attempt to answer them, and where there is interrelatedness in them, I will try to match my answer in respect thereto. The first question, I think, that was put by Honorable Venani. I got the assistance from Honorable Upindi, but I think maybe for the new members it's worth underscoring that so that act was passed last year, and specifically the relevant section that introduces the restriction in terms of the sale of primary housing execution is section 35A, as I indicated earlier. That's just for our own noting as we go and assist in educating the public members. The questions by Honorable
That one.
No, I'm trying to see where my brother is sitting. Yeah, Honorable Kanderodu. So, Honorable Kanderodu, I think your question relates to as to whether the safety or the safeguard provided by this law, whether they would extend also to cover municipal debt. So the answer is yes, it's all form of debts, but to the extent that the debt is in relation to a property or a house of primary residence. Your other questions concerns as to what is the Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations doing in providing, legal representation to elder citizens whose home of primary residence may be at risk of being repossessed. I think it's common course that the ministry does provide, legal representation through legal aid to indigent, members of society. I think your other questions pertains to the value of debts, insofar as to whether or how, what are the safeguards that are in place to ensure that the house doesn't get repossessed and then it get to be sold at a price that is highly exorbitant than the owed debts. I think I have indicated that in terms of the reform, particularly having regard to the rule of the High Court, so the judge president now has the power to set the reserve price, and the binding conditions that would bind both the debtor as well as the creditor in the equation. Comrade Toby, thank you so much for your persuasive intervention. I think on the issues of what is that we're planning to do regarding the possible regulations of interest, I think it would also be a common course that the regulations of interest by commercial institution is the mandate of Bank of Namibia, if I'm not mistaken. But what it's worth to mention at this point in time is that we make ourselves available to consult, of course, through the Ministry of Finance, to see which one of those laws need to be strengthened so that we continue to provide effective social protection to our citizens. The Comrade James, again, thank you so much for your elucid, clarifications and question thereafter. I think insofar as, before that, there was one of Honorable Rukato pertaining to whether there was...
So I add a few minutes to the Honorable Minister, since he's answering questions that were put to him.
Yes,
I have a maximum of 5 to extend.
Yes, so, and I will try to fast track, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Rukato, I think the answer to your question is that as part of our legislative drafting process or law-making process, we indeed consult we embark upon public consultation. My best assumption is that the process that was followed last year was no exception. Comrade James, I think insofar as the collusion is concerned, between commercial bank and their workers and, and the judgment creditors, I think that is something that should not be condoned. And in actual fact, we are going to look into that as well to see how we can probably strengthen measures around that. And then that would then lead to probably holding those that are embarking upon this scrupulous exercise accountable. On Honorable Rizazi, which was the last question in any event, it pertained to whether the judiciary has the capacity to enforce the law or the reform that we are talking about. Indeed, we believe that judiciary is capacitated to be able to implement the new law and the new rule. But perhaps, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Member, what I also need to clarify is that there were what we have commissioned at the moment or commenced is the High Court Amendment Act. So there is also the Magistrate Amendment Act that we still need to commission that will regulate similar judicial proceeding in the magistrate court. So the one that we have commissioned, as well as the collateral rules pertaining to the proceeding in the High Court. I thank you as I take my leave.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that clarification. Now, before we move to the next item, I wanted to conclude my ruling on the item concerning the financial statements for the National Youth Service. The matter was a question by the Honorable, notice of a question by Honorable Hishono, directed to the Minister responsible for education, querying the audited financial statements for the Youth Council, National Youth Service for the financial years 2022, 23, and 24. And indeed, these reports were tabled in this House on the 10th of September and are with the Committee on Public Accounts, and therefore the question cannot be admitted. Now, as we proceed to reports from the Committee of the whole Assembly and consequential proceedings. Yes, Honorable. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just, for clarity's sake, maybe you can just take us through the risk, the damage, if a question is asked by an honorable member while it is still being addressed by the relevant committee. What is lost there? What is the damage? What is the harm? Just wanted to have an understanding there.
Very good. Thank you. I will explain. This is not a discretionary matter. It's a matter of the rule. And I think the intention of the rule is to say, if a matter has been referred by the House to a committee for examination, we cannot be deliberating upon it in the Assembly, whereas a committee of the Assembly is considering the matter. So that's a rule. I read that rule. It's a rule 222, but a rule that is known by everyone. So when that report is brought to the House, then you see that committee, these concerns that are raised by the honorable member, they are not significant. They are significant, they are important. But in terms of our committee rules, committees are delegated by the Assembly to examine matters, including summoning the responsible people to ask the kind of questions that the Honorable Hishono thinks that there must be answers provided to. So this is not to trivialize the matter, it's only to uphold the rules. Now, having said that, I would like to now proceed to the next item, reports from the Committee of the Whole Assembly and consequential proceedings. Any such reports? Then if not, then orders of the day. Secretary will now read the order of the day. Secretary?
Thank you. Consideration of report on the performance assessment and post-election report for the Guinness constituency by-election.
Does Deputy Speaker move that the report be considered?
Honorable Speaker and honorable members, with humility, I seek your indulgence for the deferment to Tuesday next week.
Okay. Agree to? Okay, the second order of the day, Secretary.
Resumption of consideration of report on the performance assessment and post-election for the 2024 Presidential and National Assembly election.
When this Assembly adjourned on Wednesday, the 10th of September, the question before the Assembly was a report by the Honorable Deputy Speaker that the report be adopted. Honorable Nekongo adjourned the debate, and he now has the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would like firstly to extend my sincere gratitude to the Electoral Commission of Namibia
for delivering a well-structured report, and also to think that this is the same report that brought us here. I know that some members have their grievances, but I want to thank the team. I'm thanking them because they have brought the report to us with all the issues, challenges that we have been mentioning here, with their possible solution, unless if the members maybe did not go through the report. If the member wants, I can always refer him to the page. I also would like to, because it's the same report that brought us here, I would also like to thank the Namibian people who stood in long queues just to make sure that democracy in our country is kept alive, despite those challenges that were experienced during the process of elections. Equally, I want to thank the Namibian people, the majority of the Namibian people, for voting wisely and to deliver the SWAPO party and its presidential candidate. I know that their trust will never be betrayed, and I know for sure that they know what is happening where they have made mistakes. I think, as I indicated, Honorable Speaker, this report, now that it's being tabled here, if it needs resources, I'll then ask the minister responsible to make sure that they are given the resources they need, so that we avoid situations like what is coming out, like freezing tablets, so that they can able to procure new tablets, so that going forward, some of these situations can be averted. Issues such as of lack of ballot paper at certain polling stations, they are very well explained in the report. They also provided the solution to it, and that's why I really wanted to thank the Electoral Commission for doing that. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, without delay, I'm in support of the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussions on the report? Okay. Does the Honorable Deputy Speaker wish to reply?
I'm just a messenger, but mostly, sincerely, nobody denies that this last election was not one of the best that as a Namibian we would have been practiced. But notwithstanding that, this is also one of the most rigorous processes that went through in our legal system, in which it was tested independently and the manner in which the others accepted, notwithstanding the opinions that we have, but the constitutional amendment that says the High Court and the Supreme Court are vested with the outcome and the spirit in which we are came to sit here as Namibians and as parties. I think that's one thing, key element that one learns out of democracy and tolerance. And with that spirit, I can just say I'm the messenger. I've laid the table, and I thank you, honorable members.
I now put the question that the report be adopted. Any objection? So is the, okay, a second, any? Yes, there was an objection. Is the objection seconded? Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, it's not to explain the objection unless if you are saying you don't wish the house to be divided and you just want it to be noted. But otherwise, after the objection is raised, yeah. Otherwise, if there is none, then we would have to proceed to the voting. Huh? Is it a point of privilege? Yeah, okay, half a minute. Let me hear what the point of privilege you want to make.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think we need to be honest to ourselves here. And as citizens of this country, we have that obligation to protect, most especially the democratic system.
Honorable member, you can no longer make that statement after an objection is made.
Just hold on, Speaker.
Yeah.
I'll finish now. So, I don't think we really need to bring in that politics for the sake of it. We are agreeing things were not all right, and our request is that the report must go back so that it includes everything instead of just views of the ECN. That is not fair.
Honorable member, unfortunately.
So I just want to listen to your conscience, all of you on the other side, including Speaker, I believe, that we are not in competition here. The fear here is
Honorable member, you please take your seat. Honorable member, we are now violating the rule because we are now continuing with the debate. After the debate is concluded.
I know you have the numbers.
Yeah, I know we have the numbers. That's not it.
Because
honorable member.
The number.
No, honorable.
While you have a very
can I just
problem.
advise you? Can I just advise you, honorable member? Honorable member. Honorable member, we have a choice to not have a vote. If the honorable member only wanted to highlight his concern and have it noted, and we don't divide the house. But if there is an objection, the presiding officer is not given a discretion. The rule says when there is an objection raised and it's seconded, the presiding officer must call for a vote. So this is not a matter of flagging. Yeah. So, and also what I want to say is, honorable members, it does not prevent the house at any time to discuss issues related to, there are committees even. So these matters can still, using the rules, be taken up and discussed, but to the report, we have to agree to adopt it or to not adopt it. So now there is an objection. Now I call that we should confirm. Do we have the numbers? Yeah, the ring the bell. Colleagues, can you run the process? Yes, please. Point of privilege? No discussion.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, I'm just asking humbly ourselves, to be honest to ourselves, it's a report.
Honorable Member, we cannot go back to that point because I ruled out Honorable Nashinge. We are past that point now. We have to proceed with the voting. Yeah, Honorable Nekundi, on a point of order of privilege, which one is it?
Honorable Speaker, the only issue I'm dealing with is that the bell is prematurely rang because the objection is raised. It must now, it's now seconded, and then you must know the next one is now the counter. Only after the counter to that objection, then the bell is rang.
A counter to what?
Colleague, this objection is raised. Now, the must have been says is a counter motion to the objection.
No, okay, honorable member. Okay, thank you, honorable member.
Yes, the procedure.
Now the procedure is laid out to me here. I have it here. It says, after a reply, a question is now put, that the report be adopted, and then an opportunity is given for any objections that there may be. So if objection, then the presiding officer would proceed. Those members in favor, please rise. So there is no counter to objection, because objection is a counter to a motion. The motion was already made to adopt, and this is the counter. Yeah, so now we just need to ring the bell. Yeah. Okay. Can you please confirm check if we have already the numbers? Yeah. Can the Secretariat please confirm the numbers? Do we know now that we have a voting quorum? Have we? Yeah, okay. Honorable members, I'm advised that we do have a voting quorum. Yeah, I now ask those that are in favor of the motion to please rise. When the vote is going on, there must be silence in the House. Honorable members, silence, silence. We are voting. We are voting, honorable members. Say, okay, do we have the number? Secretariat, are we done counting? Okay, the members may now take their seats. Yes, may the members who are against the motion please rise. Can the members please have silence in this House? I will mention the members' names. No, that side also. Does the Secretariat has finished counting? Yes. The members may please take their seats. Now will those members abstaining please rise? The members abstaining? Are the members none? Okay, so Secretariat, can you please advise us on the 10 out of the elections? Members against are 25, members in favor 36. Therefore, the motion is adopted. Abstaining, none. Okay, now will the Secretary read the third order of the day?
Resumption of debate on whether...
Out of order. You are out of order. Secretary, read the order of the day.
Resumption of debate on whether existing laws are truly protecting Namibians from exploitation by lending institutions and informal money lenders.
When this Assembly adjourned on Tuesday, the 24th of June, the question before the Assembly was a motion by Honorable Hengari that the motion be referred to a parliamentary standing committee for further investigations and report back to the Assembly. Honorable Mashindange adjourned the debate and he now has the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise Oh, sorry. There seems like somebody is playing with my mic. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise.
No, he didn't say anything. Allow the honorable member to say something at least. No, let the member say something first. On the point of what? On the point of, which point are you raising?
Honorable Speaker, the counting was not correct. We are not 25. Hello, we also. Maybe you should do the counting again. That was not true. The rigging of election must not come to Parliament. The rigging of election cannot come to Parliament. We are not 25. Secretariat, how did you count? We are not 25.
Honorable member,
We are not
on what
25.
basis do you contest? How many are, who are we who are not 25?
Those
and
that stood.
how many are they on the basis?
Those who stood to go against, they are not 25.
How many are they?
We can count again.
We cannot have a
Speaker,
rerun
this
of the
is the
election.
rigging of elections again.
No, honorable member. Yes, honorable. Yes.
Speaker, you are Speaker of the House, not a Speaker of the Political.
I can't hear you.
Today is today.
I wanted to speak, but now leave it to me.
Are they 36? The others, are they 36?
Speaker, my point was that you are a Speaker of the House, not a Speaker of a political party.
Yes.
So these things of you being biased, Speaker, is not nice.
What
The
is
principle
the
of
bias?
honor should apply to all of us.
Okay, what
if
is
the
the
honorable
bias?
the honorable member raised to say that the results were not correct. Now you are asking him how many were there. The secretary must do their job. Yes. We are not administrator here. We are politicians.
Yeah.
This is
Honorable, okay.
one side thing. Honestly, it's not nice.
No. Honorable member, there is no provision. There is no provision. Refer me to a rule. Read the rule that says when a voting is done, any member who questions the speaker must rerun the election. Can you refer me to the rule? Can you refer me to that rule? A member has the floor, please.
Speaker, so the rule only applies.
No, I just want you to help me.
No, last time you ran away when you wanted to
No,
vote.
honorable, then you are out of order.
Majority. You want me to quote the rule. There is
Then
no
you
rule.
are out of
No,
order.
you are
then.
not fair.
Yeah. Then we proceed. I think you are not making any point. Yeah. Can we proceed? Where were we, Secretariat? Okay. It was Honorable Mwashindange that was on the floor, isn't it? He now has the floor.
They are not even 36. Who check them out?
Thank you.
Honorable member, can you proceed?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I was saying, before the results were wrongly interpreted, I rise to support this critical motion that is addressing the financial exploitation of ordinary Namibians. The motion presented by the Honorable Member represents the daily struggle of nearly half of the population trapped in cycles of debt, while financial institutions extract massive profits from their desperations. When Letshego alone generates a profit of 199 million in profit in 6 months only, while civil servants and ordinary citizens drown in debt, we are witnessing a systematic extraction of wealth from those who can least afford it. The Independent Patriots for Change proposes comprehensive financial consumer protection legislation that includes the first, interest rate caps on consumer lending, 2, mandatory financial literacy, 3, establishment of community development financial institutions, and 4, strengthened regulatory oversight of lending practices. We cannot allow, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, our citizens to become profit centers for exploitation financial institutions while government stands idle. To the extent, as if that was not enough, to the extent that government allows a government institution like NAMPOST to lend money to our grandparents against their social grants.
Can you imagine? Yes.
This motion, this motion provides an opportunity for Parliament to demonstrate leadership on economic justice. The IPC commits to working with all parties to develop legislation that protects our citizens while building economic empowerment opportunities that addresses the root causes of debt vulnerability. I so submit. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. I'm trying to see where I was. Okay. Now, any further discussions? Yes, Honorable Shimi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to make a contribution to this very, very important subject. Honorable Speaker, household indebtedness in Namibia has remained persistently high over many, many years, with the situation being particularly acute among public servants. This issue, if left unaddressed, may evolve into a broader social and economic crisis. It is therefore imperative that the matter is comprehensively investigated to identify its root causes and to formulate effective and sustainable solutions. In this statement, I wish to highlight the key contributing factors to household over-indebtedness and provide an overview of the measures currently under consideration to mitigate the problem. Regulatory gaps. Currently, there are macro-lending institutions operating outside the scope of the Macro-Lending Act of 2018, and thus not regulated by NAMFISA. These institutions fall under the purview of the Usury Act, which permits them to charge interest rates up to 1.6 times the prime lending rate. Operating outside of NAMFISA oversight, these lenders are often able to engage in practices that are negatively affecting members of the public, such as retaining clients' identity documents, ATM cards, activities that go unnoticed due to lack of regulation. The deduction code, introduced in 2003, the payroll deduction code management system was designed to facilitate easier access to credit for civil servants by allowing approved micro-lenders to deduct repayments directly from salaries. This system significantly reduces the risk of default for lenders as the employer guarantees repayment, in this case government. However, despite safeguards such as the Labor Act provision that stipulate that no more than 1/3 of salary may be deducted, several loopholes have led to abuse and over-indebtedness. I will just mention few. Maintenance orders. These court-mandated payments are prioritized and processed regardless of the 1/3 salary limit. Timing of housing loan approvals. During the processing window for housing loans, employees may take out additional credit, thereby violating the affordability rules when the home loan is eventually approved. Resignation and re-employment. Some employees resign to access their pension benefits, leaving unpaid loans behind. Upon rejoining public service, their loan obligations push them beyond the legal deduction limits. Allowance based on affordability assessment. Some affordability tests include allowances such as hardship allowances, which may later lapse, thereby distorting affordability and resulting in over-deduction and distress. Honorable Speaker, I know my time is up. If you can just give me a few minutes just to share some options. Policy options, Honorable Speaker, is encouraging that the Minister of Finance is dealing with this issue.
1 minute.
Thank you very much. It's encouraging that the Minister of Finance has studied this issue and has identified the challenges associated with the deduction code and is now in the position to advise the National Assembly accordingly. And I believe they have made some announcements to that effect. Few policy options may be considered. Tighten the deduction code rules, revise the framework to close identified loopholes, and enforce stricter compliance with all relevant legal frameworks. Cap the interest rates on deduction code loans, permit access to deduction code only for lenders charging reduced interest rates, reflective of a near zero default risk. 3, restrict the use of the deduction code to productive loans only. 4, phase out the deduction code. Introduce a responsible, phased approach to discontinue the deduction code system by setting a cutoff date for new loans while allowing existing loans to continue until repayment. Honorable Speaker, these are some of the options that we can consider to effectively deal with this issue. I so submit.
I want the Secretariat to be sure that we set the time limit at 5 minutes, not because this one says motions. Other members have 5 minutes, not 3. We have to be sure. Then, Honorable Kandrodu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Speaker. Mine is just to amplify. Let me commend the government for implementing the process of not assisting micro lenders to deduct money from the payslip and deposit into the micro lender's bank account. And this, the same must also apply with NAMPOST. NAMPOST, and I think we need to look at legal implication. How does NAMPOST, a government entity, tend to be a micro lender, targeting specifically pensioners' grant? Now, NAMPOST again, they have been given a monopoly to give pension grant, and then again turned into a micro lender from the same money that they are distributing. That's the clear conflict of interest. And just imagine my tax money is turned into a micro lender facility or portfolio. So when the committee is going to discuss this very pertinent motion, it must go deeper than what we are discussing here by engaging all the stakeholders. I so submit.
Yes, thank you. Honorable Nekundi.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor to engage on this motion. Honorable Speaker, I would like to take this motion holistically, in that
we have financial institutions that are lending out money to the general populace of our country. The first thing that is of pain, and I think we must acknowledge, is that it seems, I'm sensing, it seems that including this very august house, we fear to make laws that are biting against those multinational institutions, despite them threatening the livelihoods of our people. When it is a law to punish taxi drivers, close bins at 5 o'clock, we are very fast. But when we must say FMB, stop charging 20% or 15% interest, we fear. And then we go to, for 500 years, consulting them. I think we must turn this house from being fearful of these institutions and be the voice of the voiceless, in a true meaning why we are elected. These institutions continue to apply the colonial legacy rules of engagement. When you are poor in this country, your interest rate is higher than the rich man or the rich woman. And the concern is very clear. In particular, I think it's Article 40 sub L or R of the Namibia Constitution, that we must stand firm and vigilant against laws or practices that continue to perpetuate the colonial legacies. It cannot be correct that we are still here 35 years and we are fearing to change the law or to amend the law or bring the law in an actual meaning. The other aspect, Mr. Speaker, a person who have gained his or her wealth because of a policy of apartheid, have accumulated wealth because of apartheid policies, he or she get primeless because of the colonial gains. The majority of our people is prime plus. And we fear to engage that robust enough. So I think it's high time when this committee is going to engage on this matter, they must, without fear or favor, identify the loopholes and they suggest the laws that must be amended, concise, and be fast enough to bring it here. That way, amend those laws and hold those institutions accountable. Look at here, this week or last week, one of the banks in this country, and a CEO get 13 million salary. 13 million salary. From whom? From the poor people. And we are ashamed to talk about it. We are fearing to talk about it. It cannot be correct. This August house must become a house of the people, not the house of our salary collecting. Our salaries must be marked on the laws we pass that are in favor of our people. These micro lenders, these small ones, they are doing the damage. But let's start with the big fish. They are. And I think last year I brought a motion here addressing the same matter. And we are now toward the end of this year, and I have not saw any changes to any law that we say it must be amended. This House, Mr. Speaker, cannot be turned as a talk show. We must mean it, in particular, when we are talking about to change laws that have a meaningful change to our people. We will not have been here and receiving salaries if not by those who are suffering at the hands of those capitalist systems. These things must be changed. And I am calling upon that this committee must not take another year to come back with the proper recommendations on what must be amended. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Mvula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First of all, let me commend Honorable Mwamashiange.
Almost time.
for tabling this or for motivating the motion. I have a special request that, this is, that it is important for the committee that will deliberate on this issue or this motion to find a definition of what micro-lending is, because you can have micro-lending in the informal sector and micro-lending also in the formal sector when you are running a registered business with NAMFISA, for example, because every Namibian that is actually listening to these discussions becomes nervous, especially when they are when they are part of what is termed loan sharks. But at times they are doing it to make a living. So how do we, and that is already small or micro business management, or rather that has been established to employ themselves. So so the committee, I urge the committee to really work towards finding ways to have those that are doing informal lending to actually align or rather conform with a legislative framework that either exists or that needs to be amended for appropriateness. I thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I think it's now 5:45, and on that note,
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
But the Honourable Member can say one thing and we rise on automatic adjournment.
Thank you.
You will be the first one to start when we continue with the item. Or, yes, if we rise on automatic adjournment, you will be the first one to start. Alternatively,
it's an own goal. It's an own goal. But anyway, Honourable Speaker, all I want to say is that it is clear, as per the provision of the Constitution, as it was put by Brother Nekundi, Article 40, subsection I, which is actually L, that is leading with the issue of us guarding against that. But what is important is that the extension of this loan, especially, and I like the motion because it includes the informal money lenders. We have pensioners that are being followed with multiple cars wherever this pension vehicle is going, and those are people who have taken the cards that our pensioners are using to get this very money in the name of saying that they owe us. That's one issue that we have to look into. As I'm concluding, considering that I'm automatic adjournment.
You don't have to conclude. We just rise on automatic adjournment so that when we continue,
then we
will
continue.
still be the one to. No, but that is
Honourable
just
Speaker, if I may continue, since I have the floor.
No, I have a maximum of 5 minutes to give. You can't ask me to do illegal things.
Honourable Speaker, am I protected or not?
No, 5
Honourable
minutes.
Speaker, I'm seeing that there are operatives of the amalgamated institutions that are trying to
Honourable Member,
prevent
I'll
me
give
from
the floor.
advancing the
I can see the interest of the House when we started with the motion. So it means we all want to get to these items.
Yes.
Can we agree that maybe one day we skip the questions and notices of what and we just go straight to
For
the
the sake of progress.
Yeah, then we can agree to 5 minutes extension today.
Thank you very
because
much.
that's what the rules allows me to do.
Thank you
To
very
extend
much.
only for 5 minutes. But then we can agree and then we just go into the agenda. So, Honourable,
Thank you very much,
extend for
Honourable
5
Speaker.
minutes.
It gets very painful when you see a public servant who wakes up every day, goes to work and try his or her level best to put bread on the table, only to realize that this person is wallowing in poverty due to unending debts. You take one debt to cancel the other. In the end, that pay slip is full. So as a result, this issue is quite a serious issue, leading to depression, leading to dissolution of families, and it's an issue that needs us to address it. That's why I'm supporting the motion of saying financial institutions need to aggressively be reformed to talk to the ethos and principles and aspirations of where the country is going. They need to be pro-poor, they need to advance policies and programs that are there to support the Namibian nation, especially the masses of it. Financial institutions continue to declare dividends, to declare profits year in, year out, and painfully so during the time of COVID as well. But when you are hearing that there's a CEO that is taking away 17 million, that not even the Speaker is taking away home, that's quite a serious issue.
Speaker is not a benchmark to this, my brother.
So, Honourable Speaker, this issue is quite a serious issue. It is high time that we face and we put institutions in the crosshair that they deserve to be, for us to reform laws that are there keeping our people in poverty, and as a result, this motion is in the correct form. For the sake of time, I will continue tomorrow instead of me, because I have to submit to automatic adjournment. Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Now, on the basis of automatic adjournment, the House rises until tomorrow at 14 hours 30.